Motivation. Motivation is one of the key essential elements in our lives that helps us get through our days. Without the right amount of motivation, it would nearly be impossible for us to get things done. So in this slideshow, I plan on defining the importance of motivation and telling how healthy eating and exercise can help stimulate and sustain that motivation throughout the day. Now let's first start by defining exactly what motivation is. In order for us to understand its importance, we need to know what it is. So in these first few segments, I'll define motivation, tell why it's important to us, and tell us the two types of motivations that we display on a daily basis. Now the definition of motivation is a process that arouses, sustains, and regulates human behavior. What exactly does that mean? Motivation is basically a stimulus in our minds or in our bodies that provides an incentive for us to get a task done. Motivation is mental. Let's keep that phrase in mind. Motivation is mental, and we'll get to exactly what I mean by that a little bit later. Now let's define the two types of motivations. These two types of motivations are similar but different in their own ways. These are displayed by people on a daily basis, whether they knowingly do it or they don't. One is more mental while the other is more physical, but in either case they're both equally important. The first type of motivation is intrinsic motivation. Carol Bainbridge, psychologist, defines intrinsic motivation as motivation coming from inside of an individual, meaning it's motivation that we get to do something that we enjoy, something that's fun, something that we're passionate about. And usually the task itself is the reward at the end. There's no outside source motivating us to do it. While extrinsic motivation, on the other hand, is defined as motivation from an outside source, such as fame or money or a good grade in school. The task itself, for extrinsically motivated people, is usually something we don't enjoy, but the reward at the end is what causes us to get up and go get it done. Benjamin Franklin once said that we have to eat to live and not live to eat. So the importance of healthy eating and motivation is easily seen. We need to be able to fuel our bodies correctly in order to get the right amount of motivation that we need. So why is it important? As I just stated, our bodies are like cars. They need fuel. In order for our cars to run, our cars need fuel. So in order for our bodies to properly function, it needs the right amounts of fuel, the right types of fuel. That's where healthy eating comes into play. Healthy eating also helps us mentally and physically. Some of the physical effects of healthy eating, it increases our productivity in our task. It gives us the energy we need to get things done. It also promotes proper and healthy weight loss. It also helps us to keep that weight off. As for psychological effects, for one, it's a big self-esteem booster. When we eat right, we feel good about ourselves, and we're able to move throughout our day feeling good about ourselves. It's also very cost-effective because the more time that we spend taking care of our own bodies and putting the right things in it, the less time we spend in the doctor's office spending money for them to fix whatever's wrong with us. Exercise is something that's very important to me because as an avid gym goer, I understand and I realize its importance. We only have one body, so it's essential that we take care of it. And exercise is a perfect way for us to motivate ourselves to get through our days. Why is it important? For one, it promotes our physical health. It helps us get stronger, it helps us get bigger, and it helps us to get through our day feeling good. It also promotes our mental health as well. And it promotes better sleep patterns. The more energy we burn in the gym, the more tired we feel. So at the end of the night, we'll get a good night's rest. As for physical effects, the number one physical effect is that it improves our muscle strength. It helps us get bigger and stronger, as I stated before. It also improves and sharpens our motor skills, our ability to run and to jump and to even stand here speaking. It improves our ability to do those things. It also increases our stamina and our energy. Psychological effects, it's a big stress reliever. I know from experience, going to the gym and hitting the heavy bag after a hard day of being stressed out is a good way to relieve that stress. It also helps to fight anxiety and it helps to fight depression. So we've defined motivation, we've defined healthy eating, and we've defined exercise. Now how do they all fit together? Exactly what is the point that I'm trying to make? As I said to you before, motivation is mental. Motivation is something that we need to mentally get through the day. Motivation is an inner stimulus. Healthy eating is the fuel for our body, and exercise helps us to relieve those mental issues, such as stress and depression. Motivation is the goal. Motivation is the mental goal. By eating right and doing the right things with our bodies, we're able to properly motivate ourselves mentally. So what do we do? Number one suggestion, the early bird gets the worm. So I feel it's important for us to get up early in the day and get our day started. Do the things that we need to do to prepare ourselves for the day in the morning. 6 a.m. may be a little early for some people, but that's usually a good time that I get up to get my day started. I also suggest working out in the morning time. I feel that's a good time to work out because it helps us to prepare our bodies for the day. It helps us to get all our strength up. It wakes us up from a nice, healthy, long night of sleep, and it helps us to mentally prepare ourselves for the day. And of course, eating correctly. Eating the right things throughout the day. No big meals, small portions of healthy foods helps us to stay mentally ready for any task that comes our way. It also helps us to promote the weight loss and physically and mentally stay healthy throughout our day. So in conclusion, motivation is a mental tool that we need to get through the day. I feel that by eating right, by exercising, and by starting your days early in the morning, we can properly motivate ourselves throughout the day. This is my presentation on motivation, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much.